Hello, MrkoVe here, and today I want to talk about Silo, the TV show. This is an ongoing series, and there will not be any spoilers in this review. During Amazon's Prime Day week, whatever they call it, back in June, I ended up taking a few streaming services that they had on sale, 99 cents per month for a few months, planning on binging a bunch of shows. Ended up the only show I watched was Silo. Now this is on Apple TV streaming service, and the first season came out in May of 2023. Second season came out in November of 2024. Both season 3 and 4 have already been filmed, but they don't have a release date for either of those yet. Uh, it's based on a trilogy of books, and each season has had 10 episodes that are like 40 to 60 minutes long. I anticipate that season 3 will probably come out at the end of this year, early next year, but they haven't said that yet. So the star of the show is Rebecca Ferguson. That is the reason that I wanted to watch this. Ever since I saw her in Doctor Sleep, been a fan of hers. Tim Robbins also has a big role in the show, and Steve Zahn has a big role in season 2. The setting is basically that there's this community of about 10,000 people living in this giant underground structure that they call the silo. And there's over like 100 levels to this thing. It's self sustained, and they're in there because it's stated that the outside air is unsafe. It said like over 100 years ago, there was a rebellion that failed, but in the process of that rebellion, all past history was essentially destroyed and erased. Books, whatever they had, was gone. Um, Now, anything that is before that time that still exists, they call relics, and they're essentially illegal. So, with history erased, the people don't know what's wrong with the outside. They're just told it's unsafe. They don't know who built their silo. Essentially, they have no knowledge of the outside world. They don't know what a forest is, or an ocean, or a lake, or anything. Um, there's a basic constitution called the Pact that the people go by that live there, and that was created by the founders. I think after the rebellion took place. Anyone who wants to go outside can, and if anyone says they want to go outside, they're then forced to. They can't take back that statement, and they're essentially sent out with like a space suit on and are assumed dead by the air or radiation or whatever's causing the outside to be unsafe. So besides wanting to see Rebecca Ferguson and whatever she's doing now, what attracted me to the show is really the dystopian apocalyptic setting. It's always interesting to me to explore characters in smaller groups, having to adjust to the downfall of society, whether it's a meteor that's hit or going to hit, or zombies, or some virus, or in some weird silo that you don't know who built. It's getting to see these groups form, and how the people are changed or adjust to their lives prior. These people have only known being in the silo, so that's interesting as well to see how they're living, having known no other life. So far, the show reminds me a lot of Lost. Uh, Throughout 2 seasons, I feel like they've asked more questions than they've answered, and I am one of the few people on the planet that like the ending of Lost, but there's no debating that they left a ton of questions presented in that show with no payoff. Now, I don't think Silo is considered one of Apple's like flagship shows, so hopefully it doesn't go down the same route of Lost, where they're having an ending kind of forced upon them, and they're unable to answer a ton of the questions that they asked in prior seasons. Um, the fact that they have 2 more seasons already filmed for this is a good sign. So hopefully that won't happen here. Uh, Show's very addicting so far. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more. Show's a bit dark as far as lighting, and sometimes it can be hard to see everything, but it is underground in a silo. It's been very fun trying to guess the answers to all these questions that they've asked, and despite not giving many answers so far, the ones that were answered, uh, my guess was wrong almost every time, which I appreciate. I don't want things to be obvious or know what's coming before it's happened, and it never felt like the show was tricking me or trying to lead me somewhere else to give me a different answer. Um, the answers made sense. It was just so many different options that it was really hard to come up with what the right one was. So that's been a lot of fun so far. The show definitely leads itself to discussion, and if you're watching this with someone else, it can be fun to look ahead, try to guess what's coming next. What the answers to some of these questions are, or just what's going to happen in the next episode. It's also nice that there's almost no humor in the show. It really keeps the tension high and continues to build. And, because the show is taking itself seriously, you do too. So I really appreciate that, they don't just have unsettling jokes, stuck in the middle of situations that they don't belong. Who would I recommend this show to so far? First, if you like Lost and you enjoyed the constant questions that show asked, this is definitely for you. I haven't seen a show since Lost that has done that quite as much as this show has. The setting isn't pretty, but it is very well done. The style itself is certainly a cool structure, and if you're into dystopian, post-apocalyptic settings, everything is well executed so far. The real hook here is the mystery. Who built the silo? What happened to the air, if it's even really the air? Was there a nuclear war? Are they on a different planet? Are they still on Earth, but just like secluded and like test subjects or something? I have no idea, and so it's really fun to wonder what the answer is to the big question there. And there's a lot of other questions that come up as well that are fun to think about. So that's really the hook to the show for me. If these questions sound fun to ask, and if you want to show that, ask them well with good acting, remarkable set design, and keeping the seriousness up to remain the tense just build that the whole show has so far. I would definitely recommend Silo. Again, I think season 3 is probably going to be out at the end of this year, early next year. I thought initially they had stated that it was going to be the end of the year, but I don't see that anymore. But we will see. That is about it for this video. You guys have a great day, and thanks for listening.